Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2025 ski test. Excited to talk about the new Volkl M7 Mantra for you today. This ski is an update over the M6 Mantra, and they've really kind of taken a few things and tweaked them and improved them and made them better and really kind of given this Mantra a new feel and style. Most of it has to do with the new shape, an additional radius that we see over their 3D radius. They now use 4 radius drive, so we can get into the specifics of that a little bit later. But for the most part, the construction is similar. They did tweak some of the additives for the tips and the Titanal frame, but for the most part, very similar. We are still built with a performance wood core, that multi-layer wood core consisting of poplar and beech. Volkl does it a little bit differently than some other companies, where they put their beech over the edges and the poplar more in the middle. So that kind of goes against what a company like Blizzard does with their True Blend wood core, where the stiffer and stronger wood is in the middle, creating kind of a central spine. Volkl puts their denser wood over the edges, and that just kind of shows their commitment to edge grip and precision. There's nothing wrong with either way, but it's interesting to note that certain companies do it one way while others do it the other way. So we have that wood core, and then we have their tailored Titanal frame. So that frame extends from the midsection here. So there is a little bit of a break right here. So it extends all the way around the edges. And then we have a center plate here as well, which goes into where the frame holds in. So this central portion extends up into the upper frame. They're not connected. It does it the same at the bottom. But if you think about it, there is continuous metal throughout the ski. It just doesn't happen to be connected in the midsection points. So that allows for a more natural flex in the ski, especially just outside the binding zone. So really interesting engineering there going on. And then that frame continues through the tail around. One of the updates to the frame this year is they didn't extend these rear or forward frame plates all the way to the edge. They kind of notched them in. If you've seen or heard of some frame delamination issues, Volkl has taken steps to mitigate that, so it's not as kind of harsh of an angle with the frame pieces, especially in the tail, which is where we saw, I would say, more of the delamination issues. It still wasn't like a crazy amount, but they did hear about it and they did fix it. So I think that those are good things. And then a slight change to the tailored carbon tips as well. They basically just create this layup to be specifically tuned for this ski. And so they just changed it a little bit. They added a few carbon stringers, and what this is doing is making the tip of the ski more precise with less weight. So the old frame used to be wider and thicker, and then they replaced that metal in the forebody and the shovel of the ski with those carbon stringers in that tailored carbon tip. So an upgrade there as well in terms of construction. But the new big story here is the 4 radius drive. Briefly, before we get into that, this 177 on the scale is about 2,075 grams. Not a huge difference from the M6. But 4 radius drive, what they've done is they've made the tip a little bit more, shorter of a turn radius. Mid-body here, 40 meters longer there. Still pretty short in the teens here, 17 underfoot, and then 22 in the tail. So I think that this second one here, this 40, is the big one. So it allows you to get into the turn easier, and then you can really let it run at a longer turn radius in kind of the forebody of the ski here. And that's giving you stability at speed. But it's still amazing how you can tighten it up and make that shorter radius turn underfoot. When you get that at a higher edge angle, it's just incredibly responsive and precise, and then just an insane amount of energy out of the tail of the ski. It's incredibly snappy and poppy while remaining stable. So that's the engineering behind the new 4 radius drive. Certainly makes the ski feel extraordinarily intuitive no matter what shape or style turn you're looking to do. And like there's not a whole lot of camber in these skis. We kind of noticed this about Volkl's all mountain and free ride skis, is that they're not big on camber. You know, that energy is built into the ski, into the construction, where they don't really have to put a lot of that camber underfoot, and then long rocker in the tips and tails. So a pretty flat overall profile, which I think is interesting given how well this ski carves. So pretty flat, low splay in the tail, and just an incredibly gifted ski when it comes to carving turns. Still 96 underfoot. You know, that's kind of a good sweet spot for versatile all mountain skiing, but when you get on this thing and see how well it carves, it's hard not to kind of think that it's just a wider frontside ski. I think anytime you get in like crud or chop or spring snow, anything soft, this thing goes right over it. And you know, powder skiing and stuff like that, it's a little bit heavy, but again, it does have that flatter profile. So it's not like it's going to be fighting against you with camber. It's really just that it's on the stiff and heavy side to be considered a playful freeride ski. So better suited for firmer snow and anything that's relatively flat. This thing just eats it up. Very impressive ski. And we really enjoyed our time on it. You know, not too bad in the spring bumps either. But I think that if you are kind of in that intermediate range and looking for something to take you to the next level, this ski's a little bit demanding. This thing's already at the next level, so that's why Volkl makes like a Blaze 94, something like that, to kind of help those skiers get to M7. It's kind of a gateway ski to this. This really sits at the top of the performance spectrum, so beware of that. But make sure you check out this all-new Volkl M7 Mantra here at skiessentials.com, and we'll see you out there on the hill. Bye.